call to order. Out of respect, just turn off all cell phones and remove all that. Ceremony starts and for the president. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
of the United States of America,
one
and to the
nation,
republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everyone's awake.
Just making sure everyone's awake.
okay, is anybody recording? No one recording.
Oh, sorry. Lost my head.
Val's recording.
Still on vacation? Yes.
Okay, approval of minutes. Do you have any changes or anything? Approved as written. Correspondence, abstracts, going to read a couple of letters.
Okay. All right, to the Brookridge Board of Directors. This was received on May 3rd, 2021. I am writing this letter to be read at the next Public Board of Directors workshop meeting to make all aware of what is seemingly an endless construction site in the lot next to me at 14729 Rialto Avenue. This site has been undergoing construction since the lot was approved for a home in 2019. This homeowner has been allowed to do things of which I never thought were approved practices here in Brookridge. From the building of concrete bunkers and walkout basements to the board allowing him to use carpeting from Home Depot as ground cover for 2 years. All the while my life and my home has become a secondary disaster area to this endless construction project. I've gone down the appropriate channels of trying to get things rectified through code enforcement, the ACC board, the general manager, and security captain Greg, which were always met with resistance and unwillingness to rectify any of the situations, blaming it on a multitude of things from the county building code standards to the Brokerage ACC permitting process, etc. Never willing to do anything to take responsibility for what they've been approving and allowing to go on next to me. It has been 2 years of endless cleaning my wife and I have had to endure on our back patio, in our screen room, on our gas grill and meat smoker, cleaning of our air conditioning unit, etc. I hope we don't have a premature failure due to the excessive amount of grit entering or clogging the cooling coils. Endless dust coming into our home via the ductwork because the air conditioner fan pulls from that side of the AC unit outside. We have collected bags of sand off the patio from our vacuum cleaner. I've sent images to the old general manager as proof and not a peep. We had Christmas dinner in 2019 at our home, as we do every year. We set the table in the back screen room to enjoy the beautiful weather we all moved to Florida for, and as guests started to arrive, we were made aware that the plates and bowls were covered in grit. Nice and embarrassing for us as we rushed to wash all the dishes and silverware to get all the sand off of them. None of this should have happened. Then, as the expiration of the original ACC building permit approached and passed, work continued. I was again met with resistance, so I wrote a letter to the board to be read at the appeal hearing, which it never was. Then the board listened to the homeowner appeal, flapping away at how he's an old man and couldn't get things finished in time, and was ultimately given an extra 4 months, not weeks or days, months to complete the work. 4 months more of the nonstop banging and screaming and tools running. Great, thank you, Board of Directors. This ultimately allowed enough time to purchase the extra special indoor-outdoor carpeting that still blankets part of the yard to this day. It's funny, not one other home here has carpet for grass. Fast forward to 2021. After a full year of getting sandblasted by the lack of ground cover except the carpet that was constantly blown around by the winds, the exceptional ACC board approved another extensive construction project without ever stepping foot into his yard to see what it was going to entail and how it would affect the neighboring properties, which is a policy that I believe need fixing in the ACC. I've now had to endure 4 more months of the same old job site conditions. This story is getting very tiresome. Unfortunately now, for my wife, COVID has wreaked havoc in the business world, creating work from home life for millions. While no one was as lucky as her. She was blessed with the flapping jaws of the neighbor and the multiple helpers he brings in, the endless cutting, banging, mixing, vibrating, clanking chain, and the list goes on. Multiple times she was forced to reschedule online meetings because there is nowhere to go to get away from that noise. 90 more days of enjoying Florida living next to this disaster. 90 more days of having people we don't know around our home. Some even taking up residence there that went beyond the time allowed before background checks are required. 90 days where he couldn't again get the work done, though there was plenty of time for golfing. Unfortunately, the 90 days came and went. Citation letters were supposedly sent. Yet again, when approached, the GM and Captain Greg both put it back on the rules and regs, and that he was allowed another 14 days to come into compliance. Not sure what he needed to come into compliance with, considering he already didn't comply with the 90 days allowed per the ACC. After the extra 14 days, what happens? He gets fined. Great. Brookridge gets severance pay for the hell my family has been dealing with, and we get nothing but continual life disruptions. Maybe he gets granted an extension yet again. Great, even more life disruptions, and then nobody has to pay the price but my family. Somehow he will get away with it, and the next whimsical project he wants to do, the ACC board will gladly and blindly approve, no questions asked.
I'm adding something to the agenda.
I've taken up enough of the board's time. It's just so very hard. It's just so very hard to stress how disruptive this has been for almost 2 full years now over a letter.
You're welcome.
I invite and encourage all to come and have a look for yourself. Maybe seeing the scale of the projects will change your mind when it comes to granting another extension. Maybe it'll force you as a board of directors looking out for the residents here in Brookridge to consider neighboring properties before just saying yes. This goes for the ACC board as well. Maybe inspections inspections are needed before granting approvals for projects like these. The neighborhood as a whole is perturbed by how and what has been allowed to go on here. Thank you. The time to bring awareness to this situation. Joe and Mary Maroney, Rialto Avenue. Okay, my next correspondence that I'd like to read is from Larry Biddle. It was on an email dated May 8th. And then Patrona sent it to us May 11th. Subject, bus trip to Ray's baseball game. As residents of a community in Lake County, Florida, similar to Brookridge, we enjoyed a bus trip to watch the Rays play baseball. Is this something you, as our activities director, might be able to put together for the pleasure of Brookridge residents? If you could, I have a couple of contacts you might use to arrange tickets and transportations, and then he lists them. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Val. Okay, I'm going to do President report. As far as that first letter goes, we looked at that first letter. I want y'all to be aware of that we've sent people out there to look at that. And really, only thing we can do as Brookridge Board of Directors is find the homeowner. That's all we can do. We can't stop his neighbor from building in his house. That's not what our job is. Because then you can say, if we stop him, we can stop everybody. And you can't do that. So it's not the extension, all we can do is find the homeowner, as far as that goes. As far as my health goes, since the stroke, as you can see, I've got the cane now. So I am walking right much, trying to fast track the whole thing, not driving or anything like that. And I just want to appreciate the support I get from everybody, and I appreciate everybody coming over and things like that. And I'd like to say that Mark had surgery the first of the month, and he had, I can't say what kind of surgery he had, but he's doing pretty good, and we hope to see him. I'm sorry he's not here tonight. I don't believe in throwing at anybody or blaming anybody or anything like that, and you'll notice that from me. As far as COVID goes, we are, as you can see, we did away with the mask here in all the buildings. Like I think it was last Friday. So when the CDC changed. So we're going to have another health committee meeting between now and probably the end of the month, and we're looking at probably going to have guests in, like able to bring guests in from the outside. We're just we're basically going by CDC guidelines on that part. As a reminder, we will be taking cash at the office starting in June. So if anybody wants to pay anything by cash, they can, violation or whatever. That'll work. Let's see. That's really all I've got right now. If Treasury Report through April, from April, Larry Hughes.
Hi, everybody. How you doing tonight? Hey, somebody responded. Thanks. You're live until I got woke up. Here's our Treasury Report for through the end of April, or April. I'm not going to read because I don't think I really need to on the mowing, the screenings, and all of that, stop fees and everything. We had a total income of $107,332.69. Expenses for the month of April, administrative, we spent $18,618.51. Facilities, we spent $27,206.61. Public Works was $21,028.90, and security was $44,300. $1,849.54. So our total expenses for the month was $111,203.56. Our reserve accounts, we have an ending balance on our reserve balance of $2,031,026.46. If anybody's following along, over on that next line, it says reserve deposits, $223,600. That covers our monthly fees that go into our reserve account. So that includes February, March, April, May, and June. So that $223 pays us up through June of this year. Next thing we have is our total checking and savings accounts. We have $2,426,460.35. Donated funds this past month was $235, and this Capital City checking account, that's where all of our donated funds are. That's $24,867.83. One thing that isn't showing on here, but we'll put it on for the next month, is the percent to budget will be put on there. I know Rich had done that last year, and it was on there, and I don't know why it's not now, but we will get that back on there. So you'll know where we stand each month. The other thing that's on here is, and I walked by this, I'm sorry, the budget expenses on that department, it says January to December. That December will not show on there either. It'll be done each month like it should be done. What else can I tell you? None. The estoppel fees are fees like when we collect when a house is sold in here. We collect an estoppel fee for that.
That's to check on liens and things like that.
What's a convenience fee?
Convenience fee is what we charge. Yeah, it's what we charge if somebody uses their credit card at the office. We call that a convenience fee. Hello.
Question.
Yep.
The
I hope I can
donated,
answer you.
well, or if you'd look into it.
All right.
I noticed that from March to April, the balance of donated funds has declined, but on the donated, it says donated income, there's no expense. Are we going to resume putting reserve and donated expenses on the treasurer's report?
Did we do that in the past?
Yeah.
Was it always there?
Yeah.
We can then, yeah.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
I do know what that donate, it's, yeah, I think that our balance is down like $1,700 or something, I think like that. And that $1,700, I believe, is what we did with, or what Vince, with the machine out front, the soda machine that we purchased. That's what that is. I know where that went down from. If that helps you any. Oh, good.
Okay, Carol Webster, would anybody else have any questions? Okay, Gil Webster, General Manager report.
The Board of Directors is contracted with Maintenex for replacement and repair of the clubhouse roof. Maintenex has discounted the bid, and the new contract price is $169,388. They have offered 3 years of free inspection, which has a value of $2,500. These inspections will be applied and will extend our warranty to 25 years. The total savings on the whole project is $4,000. The clubhouse will not be closed while the roof is being replaced. However, several entrances will be blocked depending on which section they are working on. We also do not plan on closing the pool, and if it is necessary when installing downspouts and gutters, it should only be closed for several hours. We do not have a start date at this time, as Maintenex is in the process of ordering the materials. We have met with the computer tech, and it looks like the problem with the bulk email not accepting some email addresses has been resolved. The admin office has received positive feedback from residents who weren't receiving emails originally and are now getting them. If anyone is still not receiving emails, please make sure that the admin office has your correct email address and always check your spam folder. Last is just an update on the auditor from Masters & Company who was doing the annual financial report. They had a death in the family. Due to this unfortunate incident, an extension had to be filed and we had to find another auditor to do the report. We're hoping that we will have the report soon and we will keep everyone up to date.
Thank you.
Carol, thank you for the negotiation program on that. Very good. Saves a lot of money. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I missed two things I want to go back to just a second. One is it's talking about the pool rules and regulations. We're talking about that pool noodle out there. We have to readdress that because the pool noodle itself is being modified and sometimes they're using a wood. Am I correct in saying a wood peg in that, Vince? Okay. Some wood pegs are holding it together with the mesh, and we just got to make sure the only noodle that's in the pool is the regular noodle, which is about 6 inches in diameter. Also, we are going to fix that tree out there, so you'll know that tree's going to be fixed. The parking lot where the tree got dug up is blocked off. That's what you'll see fixed.
Is it down by the golf course?
It's right by the pool.
Right by the pool.
Larry, Jerry, are we paying for that? I thought the golf club took it down. They took it down, the golf club.
Okay, my understanding is that there are no negotiations for that, and right now, they have not come back. Is that correct?
Correct.
They have not come back with saying yes or no to that.
If they took it down, they should take care of it.
We're working with
Okay, we have no unfinished business. And then the new business, we got 2 members to appoint. And that's going to be Gil Metcalf's going to do the nomination.
This is to appoint 2 members. This is to appoint 2 members to the RV committee. And I'm going to recommend that we appoint Jim Snyder and Mark Roloff to the RV compound committee, because we have to appoint 2 people. Yes, we have others that we're going to appoint, but those are the 2 people that we're going to appoint first, so that we can satisfy the SOP that says that 2 people have to be appointed, the ones we can bring on. Now, I don't have, do we need an oath of office or no for, okay, all right. So I'm going to recommend that we appoint James Snyder and Marge Roloff to the RV Compound Committee. That's my motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Larry Hoos. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye. Looks like it passed unanimously.
Okay, just to let you know that we have about 3 or 4 other resumes that we have accepted, but we wanted to get, there's things that have to be done right now, and then I think within the next week we will probably be contacting all the other people to let them know, and then at the next meeting I'll just let everyone know who else was appointed. So those of you out there that think they're going to get off, they're not going to. Pat, no, you're not one of them. You're on it. So, thank you.
Okay, Larry, who's the finance committee?
I expected to have tonight everything done for our finance committee, so you know who was on the board, or on the finance committee. I didn't get my job done, I apologize. We will have it on the June 1st is our workshop meeting. June 1st is our workshop meeting, and it'll be there, and we'll have that all done for that time. I just messed up. The other thing we've done is we had hired a CPA who is strictly for HOAs. And in her report that we've gotten back, there are a couple discrepancies that we've got to figure out, and we will know that when we get the audit back. But it's, I can't elaborate on it because we don't even know if it's right or not for sure, but we've got we'll know when we get the audit back. Auditor's report, just to let you know. I don't have anything else.
Okay, report of directors. We start down here on the end with Val Stratton.
Okay, so Father's Day is coming up, and we're going to have a poker run within the community. And the idea is to go out on your golf carts and collect 5 cards. So we need at least 5 people to do stations where you hand out the cards. So please give us a call to volunteer to hand out cards, please. I believe we have a couple in the audience that have already volunteered, so thank you for your help. In addition to the prizes for the poker run, we are also going to have a food truck. So at the end of the poker run, if you don't want to participate in the poker run, you can still bring in your neighbor, your husband, your brother, yourself, and buy them dinner. So, and we will have music as well at the pavilion. So it should be a fun day and to celebrate our fathers. Thank you.
What about the time?
Oh, thank you. 2 p.m. is when we kick off. We hope our registration starts at 2 o'clock. The first cart off at 2:30. If you don't have a cart, we do have people that are willing to let you ride because you're playing your own hand. It's not per cart. You're playing your own hand. And if it all else fails, at the very end, we would let people with 4-wheel transportation or 2-wheel transportation.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Jerry's working on that.
And I'm trying to help him.
That's right, he's not taking his help. Val, can you just give us the date?
June 20th.
Okay.
Mark your calendars. 2 p.m. Be here in the West lot.
That's
Okay.
$5.
And-
$5?
$5 donation.
Okay. What will be the prize?
Cash money. And there'll be a first, second, and third.
Okay.
So you don't want to miss out.
Okay, another question is, what's the food truck gonna be?
Margie, do you remember that? I know hamburgers, something with chicken, something was a wrap. Maybe the chicken wrap.
She used to say,
Yeah.
There was 3 choices though.
There's 3 choices and pop will be provided, but, and we kept the prices. Margie Ellison, Unit 2. We kept the prices under $10.
Wait a minute.
Go up to 22.
Margie Ellison, Unit 2. Basically, we've got a beef, a chicken, and I think a vegetarian offering. We've kept the prices all under, I think the most expensive dinner is $10, and that includes your beverage. We tried to get beer or alcohol, but found out that we couldn't do that. So unfortunately, if you would like to bring a beverage, you can. So that's what we've got going for that. The other thing is we are going to have music in the pavilion and dancing. So, you know, if you all want to sit around and eat your good goodies from the food truck after the poker run and listen to the music or dance with your sweetie, you know, we are planning on having a good time on Father's Day. And if you have any questions about poker runs and how they actually work, please talk to Mr. Duncan over here, because this is his. You're welcome.
I saw that look.
Thank you.
Four aces wins.
Now, the food truck, is it licensed and all that stuff?
Licensed, insured, it has its own electricity.
Yes.
It does not need our kitchen. And from what I understand, they do have a fryer for French fries.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, that's more Cindy for me to get better.
Oh,
That's
no.
right. Get them up.
Sandy's like, no. She's like, no.
Okay, Rosemary?
My comments will wait until members, because it is not connected with the project.
Okay, what about you, Gil?
Yeah, beautification committee. I don't know if you've noticed, but the committee has added many really nice flowers on the boulevard. And we had a couple of men that are snowbirds that have been watering almost every day. We still have some watering to do, but I think I spoke with Billy, let me know if I'm out of line, and Billy said that he would be willing to go up there with his big drum and just water. So Billy is going to, our public safety manager, is going to be doing that for us. The only thing that we're going to need is we're down to only like 3 or 4 people for weeding, and because most of the people are snowbirds. So if anybody lives near or on the boulevard that is near one of the beds, if you would be so kind as, you know, if you'd like to get some people out there and just pull the weeds to keep them going, and you know, when everybody comes back in October, they're not, you know, it's plants that we see and not weeds. So if anybody is interested, Mr. Snyder over there is our go-to person. Yeah, the guy with the ponytail over there.
Come to bus.
Yeah, but we really are in desperate need of maybe 4 or 5 people, you think? Maybe 4 or 5 people that could help us? Yeah, okay. That's my plea.
Larry, you got anything else?
No, I'm finished.
Okay, how about you, Rich?
Mike, Larry, thank you.
Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and go with member comments.
I'd just like to say to our members, we had our first real meeting of the ladies of Brookridge on Monday, and we had close to 30 people show up, even though it wasn't well advertised. And 3 of those were new residents to the community. We're hoping to add, you had 5. Thank you, Jackie. 5 new residents. Now, this is the board of directors and our members voted to donate $1,000 to the clubhouse wish list for the pavilion railing. And it was agreed on by all our members, and I turned the check over to BCPO Monday afternoon. So hopefully that's going to get Vince closer to his goal. And the other thing is Tuesday night, bingo. This is residents only. According to reports, the girls have been averaging at least 70 people coming in for the summer. We hoped that we might drop off a little because summer is coming on, but all the money the proceeds go to our scholarship fund. And our goal is hopefully that we will have enough money that we can give out more scholarships and more substantial scholarships next year. So remember, all the proceeds for the Tuesday night bingo, it starts at 5:30, and that money goes to our scholarships. So come on down, it's co-ed.
I have something to say under just member comments. People in the RV compound committee, you are aware that when you looked at a map, when there was a map that it was owned by the water department, and their property went through the roadway that goes into the RV compound in Billy's compound. We had a meeting yesterday. We had been working with someone. I'd worked with someone about 6 years ago, and we've kept up to date. And yesterday, the president, myself, and the treasurer, and Carol went to visit them, and there was going to be a request that all of the small trailers with canoes and stuff are, when you first go in, they were going to ask us to remove those, but we still had the right of way for the road itself. When I asked Gordon, I can't pronounce his last name, to please check in because there was an easement and they did not have that information. I'm happy to say that that Gordon from the utilities said that we have a 40-foot easement and that we have been allowed, we will not have to take those trailers and canoes out of there. The one issue that I saw on the agreement was that it was a temporary easement. And I asked Gordon if he could change that, and he said only if we were going to buy it. As far as we know, the county is not going to sell that land. They want to keep that land for the ponds because they might be doing something with water, recycling water or something at some point. So we should not have to worry about that, but it's something that we want to keep in the back of our minds, because if we do that, how many there, 25 slots there? Yeah, so we're hoping to keep those, but yesterday afternoon, he miraculously found that exhibit that I asked for, and he texted me this morning, emailed me this morning. So I will give you a copy of that. That's the RV Compound Committee.
Okay, do we have any more comments from the audience?
Renee? She said she had something.
Where's Renee?
Renee, you said you had something.
Oh, I can walk
Yeah,
down?
it's your turn now.
Yeah. Come on up.
Please, Donna. you
Oh, come
silly.
on down. That's what he says, right?
Come on down.
Come on down. We'll remind you.
Okay, I don't need your help. I can do it.
Okay.
Hello, how do I turn this on?
Up, turn it.
Hello?
Just kind of.
Hello? Help me, would you?
Yeah, you gotta go this way. And
Renee Jasnak, Unit 1. So my concern is, I've worked in the medical field for over 30 years, and I have left a message for Ron Ross. I've gotten no response. I have concerns about the fish program. Number one, people driving people in the community to doctor's appointments or whatever they need, okay? If those people have medical limitations and the person, out of the kindness of their heart, is taking them for an appointment, okay, and that person falls out or gets hurt going in or out of wherever they're needing help to go, okay, there's no liability in the fish program. Also with the food, okay, if a box comes of food out of the kindness of the heart, and say there's a jar of peanut butter in there, and the person says, oh, I'm really not supposed to have peanut butter, but this is awesome.
let me take a taste in a little bit, and has a medical reaction, okay, who's responsible for that? And, okay, Joanne Burns, making food for residents out of the kindness of her heart, not saying anything is wrong, okay, that's all good intentions, okay, but you're putting Brookridge at a liability. So that's my concern. And I left a message for Ron Ross, and because I'm not in that group, no response. So I can tell, okay, that they have this select group of people, and if you have any input, okay, it doesn't matter. So it's very sad for the Brookridge community.
Renee?
I don't get any.
Renee?
Yes. Yes.
Can we have your phone number? You don't have to do it online. If you can give it to them, and then we will talk to Ron.
Yes, this is
about
an
your-
issue. I
Yeah.
mean, it's all in good intention.
Yeah.
Okay? But it's an issue for the community, okay?
Yeah.
Because somebody, the first trip might have worked great, but the next person may fall and damage their knee, okay?
Okay.
Okay, this is an issue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the whole community, before they start projects like this, should be addressed and hear what people have to say, not just their select group of friends, okay? Because that's what's happening. I can see it. I can see it. It's sad. It's very sad. And then they talk to each other on Nextdoor, and they thank each other for doing favors for each other, and they're all friends. They're friends. And 80% of the community is left out in the loop. I don't see anybody coming down DeHaven looking for my neighbors to help them. I have to go out and help them. I take care of 3.5 yards, and I feed my neighbors. Okay? Nobody's coming down my block looking to see if these people need help.
Okay.
Yes?
Okay, but Renee,
Yes.
I would like you to, if you
That's
could,
what happens when we work in the health field.
Renee, if you could give your name, and then we will look into that.
Sure.
I have, yeah.
352-262-9759.
Yes, Brenda, come on
And
up.
I'm also going to tell you, because I was going to call you, this GoFundMe stuff is baloney. It's baloney. I could, you know what? I could sell my
Brenda
house
McMahon,
and
Unit
move
6.
out of-
Excuse me, we can't, okay.
Thank you.
Brenda
Okay, go on.
McMahon, Unit 6. After listening to that, I wanted to say something. If you go to any food pantry, they have no liability.
Can't hear you.
If you go to a food pantry, they have no liability.
This is not a food pantry.
Okay, please don't argue in the, okay, you're addressing us.
I picked up a lady today and took her to the doctor. She was so grateful. Her sister was with me. On the way home from the doctor, her sister started having stomach problems. I took her to the unit, urgent care. Urgent care sent her to ER. I took her to the ER. I just got home at 7:10, left at 10:30 this morning. They're both happy as could be, tickled pink to know that we have neighbors willing to take them to the doctor. She's on oxygen. I put her oxygen tank in the trunk. She's on a walker. I walked her very slowly. If she falls, I'll take the responsibility. She can sue me.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments, mirror comments? Okay, go Val.
Val Stratton, Unit 3. I know you're going to have the meeting with the health advisory, but I wanted to remind you and the rest of the board that our deed restrictions, Article 6, Section 1, use of common area. The common area is devoted to and intended for the common use and enjoyment of the members, their families, guests, and other persons occupying the lots within Brookridge, subject to the terms and conditions of the governing documents. So I think as a board we need to be concerned that now that the governor and the president do not really have this as a mask-wearing situation, that our deed restrictions does allow families, guests to use the common areas. It might be something that was overlooked.
I don't think it was the fact that it was overlooked. We're still looking at the safety of all the people. And Jerry, you know, when we first talked about this, he wanted to make sure that it could be that we're gonna let guests in before we let non-residents in. Because when I read what Dr. Fauci said today, he said specifically it was only for people that have had their shots, that can wear, their vaccinations, that do not have to wear the masks. It did not say that people that have not had their shots should not wear the mask. They should still be wearing the mask, but because of HIPAA laws, we're not allowed to ask people. And if anybody has a medical issue, I would highly recommend still wearing. I wear my mask in public. You know, any of us that have an issue. And what Jerry has talked about is that the clubhouse is open with nobody having to wear their masks. That's just for members. Guests and non-residents, that's what they're checking with the health people to see if there's going to be a spike. If there's a spike, then you know it's going to be rampant in here.
Does that answer your question?
It wasn't a question, I just know that the memo said the board of directors, but I wanted to share with the board of directors my research and my thoughts on the matter, so that I was included in the conversation.
Exactly, and I understand, but I think that's where it comes under emergency.
We're not under an emergency any longer.
We're still,
Well, we're gonna still go with the CDC guidelines, and when they change, we're not ready for guests to come in here yet, because everybody's not been vaccinated.
because the CDC, they're not saying everybody, they're saying only people that have been vaccinated.
But our emergency powers have ceased when Governor DeSantis quit doing that. So I'm just worried we're going to be in another fruitless lawsuit.
So what you're saying is, you're saying we should open 2 months ago to guests, because that's basically about when DeSantis did what he did.
It's possible, yes, but definitely since the president.
This is something that we have to look into, and it could be that HOAs we have our own set of rules. You have to go at least by the state statutes, and then we can go more, we can't go less.
It's okay, I just wanted to share my opinion. It doesn't mean that I'm right.
Yeah, and I understand when you said that, yeah.
So we will not let any outsiders in the clubhouse, am I right?
That's correct.
You're wrong. Because I can watch the guys playing horseshoes. I can see right from my house. They walk inside here. Okay? Now, is that okay to do that?
That's not okay. That's part of, that's either Vince or the monitor's responsibility to say, ask them if they, from the outside.
Any landscaper comes by, parks his truck out there, goes inside, uses the washroom, takes right off.
We's not supposed to come in here.
Put a sign up that says something.
Yeah, who's stopping them?
Put a sign up that says it.
Okay.
It's common sense. Put a
What
sign.
I would suggest, Rich, is to speak to our clubhouse manager and express that to him, and he can, or no, better still, go through Karen, and then she can direct him to look at who it is that's coming in and isn't. If they're outsiders or not. Because we were able to alleviate that last year by actually asking them, asking people in a club specifically, and they were not allowed to come back in here. So.
Any other member
Pushes.
comments?
Well, haven't you already dealt with COVID already?
Can't hear you.
Can't,
Step up, step up.
you have to come up to the,
Come away.
well, you can't say anything.
Well, I was just gonna say, I'm pretty loud. Do I need?
That's right, yeah. And you know what it is? It's for the tape. It's for the
There's a
YouTube.
tape? Oh, no.
We're on YouTube.
Smile. There you go.
What I was gonna say.
Name and,
Oh, no.
name and unit number. You have to.
I don't know my unit. Susan Barris. I'm at 8129 Dallavine.
Okay, that's-
Somebody tell me where my unit.
Too close.
Okay. Anyway, you already had COVID in the community, correct?
Yes,
Where there was a situation that things had to be closed down.
yes,
You don't want to repeat that,
yes.
correct? I mean, just common sense.
Just my opinion,
Well,
you know, but
that makes
that's,
two of us.
yes,
That
that's,
makes two of us.
yeah. And that's what we're trying to eliminate.
And then let me address the speed issue on Brookridge Boulevard while I'm here. No, we have a problem with it, and I've talked to you guys about it already. Guy at the end, and Gail. And I'd like to know what the proposed plans are for that situation, because someone is gonna get hurt, someone's gonna get killed.
Do you want my plan real easy? Walmart's discontinuing selling tires.
What's that?
Walmart is discontinuing selling tires. So you can't speed. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm gonna flatten a few if they don't stop it.
Peanut gallery. No, we have, there are two proposals that came forward from two different, actually, one was is a retired code enforcement, someone who's on code enforcement, that have come to Jerry and he are discussing a couple of different ways that we can do this. It's going to be a cost, so we gotta, you gotta remember, Jerry was out of commission for a month, so everything got kind of pushed back for a month. But that is something that he is pursuing, and we probably won't know for a couple of months. And what it will have to do is, it will have to go to the Finance Committee to look to see if we can put it in next year's budget. So we don't want to bring them forward yet, because we don't know all the pricing.
That's correct.
Okay.
Any other member comments?
My goodness. Entertain a motion.
Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn. Second by Val Stratton. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye.
I'm left-handed. Thank you, everybody.